The holidays look a lot different for most Canadians this year as we continue to track the impact of the Omicron variant. In response to the rapid spread of the Omicron variant across much of the country, the federal government is temporarily expanding support programs for workers and businesses affected by new capacity limits. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made the announcement a short time ago.
We need to, all of us, do what it takes so Canadians are protected and to have what you need to weather the storm. We're going to be there for the hard-hit regions, for specific sectors like art and culture, hospitality and tourism. We will be there to keep you and your family safe. We're going to continue to work closely with the provinces and territories, but we will be there with supports for the areas that need it.
With details on the expansion of those support programs, we're joined now by the CBC's Nick Boisvert. He's in Saint-Adolphe-d'Auwerd, Quebec. Nick, what was announced?
Well, Hillary, it was mostly today. The news that Canadians will be able to use is this change to what was a benefit program introduced just a few weeks ago, and now the federal government has had to update it, showing the speed at which Omicron is changing plans across this country. The benefit that was announced a few weeks ago was called the Canada Worker Lockdown Benefit. It was going to be made available to workers and businesses who were under local lockdown orders. But as we've seen from provinces right across the country, none of them are quite responding in that kind of way. None have instituted a full-on lockdown, which was initially a requirement of this new benefit, which the government was supposed to be making available to people. Because of that, no one was able to really access it at first. So today they've announced they're expanding the definition of what a lockdown is. And now a business that is suffering or is rather restricted to 50% capacity, they will qualify for this lockdown benefit, workers and businesses alike. So if you're a worker and you're trying to access this, that means up to $300 a week. And businesses as well, some who are not even under capacity restrictions, will have more access to federal supports. The business will now only have to show that they've lost 25% of their revenue compared to pre-pandemic levels. That was supposed to be 40% during a time where the government thought the country would have been more on a positive trajectory before the Omicron variant, of course, showed up and changed a lot of those plans. Here's a little more from the Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland.
Our support measures announced today are there to help public health officials at the provincial level, at municipal levels, to make the right decision to preserve the health of Canadians. And I'm very glad that we have put in place for ourselves the legislative tools to offer that support.
So they're offering that support, but it is coming at quite a cost to Ottawa. The added eligibility for these programs is expected to cost the federal government an extra $4 billion. Freeland said they budgeted for that in the fall economic update, but a pretty hefty price tag for these added supports as a result of the Omicron variant.
And Nick, the other thing that we heard there during that update was the Prime Minister revealing that some people within his inner circle have tested positive. So what are those details?
Yeah, that's right, Hillary. So he announced that there's 6 people in his inner circle who have recently come back positive for COVID-19. That's 3 of his staff members and 3 people who are part of his security detail who have all come back positive recently. The Prime Minister said he is not so far. He has taken rapid tests that have all come back negative, but he is following public health directives in Ottawa that have advised him to not self-isolate. He was careful about not using that term, but to limit his contacts. So he appeared at the news conference today virtually from his home office. Yeah, it just goes to show, I mean, people across the country are probably seeing a lot of cases, people they know in their circle. That's no different in Ottawa right now with the Prime Minister and his staff. We've heard of multiple other ministers. Chrystia Freeland has had staff test positive. The Foreign Affairs Minister, Melanie Joly, recently tested positive. So just another sign that the Omicron cases or COVID-19 cases are on a very serious upward trajectory at the moment, affecting just about everyone.
And Nick, I think the other thing that a lot of Canadians are probably thinking about are rapid tests. And there was a little bit of news on that about getting more rapid tests sent out across the country. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the Prime Minister did commit to getting tens of millions of more rapid tests, he said, into the coming weeks and into the new year, but it doesn't look like those are going to really be coming quite immediately. There have been a lot of demands from the provincial governments to get more rapid tests, which they are responsible for distributing. We have, of course, all seen the long lines of people lining up in the early morning hours in front of pharmacies, hoping to get their hands on some of these rapid tests, particularly before possible holiday get-togethers. So we've heard that there'll be tens of millions. That was the number he threw out there that will be coming in the coming weeks. There's been about 35 million rapid tests, they said, distributed this month. They've probably, they're not going to be sending out too many more since they've exhausted all of that, but there is an expectation that many more will be coming. Chrystia Freeland also noted that the government did commit to buying 180 million rapid tests in its that fall economic statement. So there should be many more coming, the government says, but not in time for the holidays, but soon, they say. Hillary.
Oh, okay. Nick, thanks so much for all of this. The CBC's Nick Boisvert in Saint-Adolphe d'Auwerd, Quebec.